Thought I'd wear these ridiculous glasses this morning because, well, I like them. I don't know why. I normally wouldn't rock glasses like this, but I figured because I come from the future, these would be the kind of glasses that if you were in a movie in the 1980s, you would wear glasses like this, saying, "This is what the year 2020 is going to look like." But considering I just got these a few months ago, and it is apparently 2020. I think these are the glasses that people will be wearing in 2060. So, yeah, I'll rock these out for a little bit, see if you guys like them. And we will talk about, I don't know, things that I really truly hope don't upset people. I don't mind adjusting people's awareness and consciousness towards things. And we will talk about a little psychology, philosophy, history, heritage, the just where the hell are we? I think is a good. I mean, are we in the twilight zone? We could talk about that. What the twilight is, you know, shamanism, death and rebirth, natives, aboriginal, original, the status of what the colors of the rainbow mean and what black and white are, and let's see. And as I did a little AKA, let's see who Zen can piss off this AM. Which is never, it's never my goal. It's always to help people understand things. And cheers to everyone who might be here. People that are new here, be like, look at this fucking idiot with these glasses on. I might take them off in a second and look a little more like myself. Or maybe I'll just put my hair down so you can understand a little better. Because that usually does help some people. I'll take my glasses off, put my hair down, and I will leave uh, my feather. Hmm. Would that have anything to do with the Redskins? I was going to title this Redskins and Chiefs, and the ridiculousness of getting rid of the like why right now? What is the big deal? Like, do you know who designed the logo for the Washington Redskins? Has Redskin ever been a a term of disgrace? Has it ever been a term of insult towards anyone? No. Just like if you call someone black skin, white skin, red skin, yellow skin, you just are. That's the color of their skin. Brown skin. Hey, brown skin? Shit, I love a brown skin girl. Whatever. It's my preference. But red skin never been used as a form of disgracing or but what's happening, what's really going on is this is Orwellian. It's so people can identify with some heritage or some history of people. Most people don't consider for 1 second in one iota, one little fraction of their day. Most people that are considered Caucasian, white people, or black people, which don't exist, but we'll call them melanated people, they don't give it one thought to what the red skinned people are, the natives, the tribal, the aboriginals, the originals, the ones, including most. I'll let a little secret here. Most people that consider themselves black or African American, you're from here. This is your land, and your people been here for a long time. You didn't come from Africa. Hate to break that to you, but that might upset some people. You were not pulled over here on slave ships. You personally weren't, and your parents weren't, and generations beyond that probably weren't. It seems more that slaves were Slavic. That's where you get the word from. But that we won't do that history lesson today. But what we will address is the idea that every Sunday you could watch football and you would, at least for a second, see the Washington Redskins, and it would remind you that there were chiefs, there were redskin, there were people of this land, the redskin people, that lived here, and they still do in droves. Most people here probably are. If you go to most cities and really knew what you were looking at, you would understand who the real natives are. There's a lot of them. Most people just have been lied to about their own history, and that is a source of many people's anger, aggression. And if you realize you've been lied to, it's gonna twist your mind up. The sort of confusion that comes about because people don't know their heritage, they don't know their history, they don't know where they're from. That will cause a lot of chaos of the mind, which is the resulting thing that we see today is the amount of I would call it like abstract anger, because people don't even really know what they're mad about. I mean, they know internally what they're upset about. We all know what people should be pissed about, and it has nothing to do with the general population of the land dwelling souls. It has to do with a very small group of people that I think most people will call white people. And even people that are Caucasian know what someone means if you say a white person. That ain't me. Just like black people ain't black to me. I'm not a white person. We know what white people means, though. We do know. And if you do know, under the statutes of the legalese system, black is it defines slaves. It doesn't define a skin color. It doesn't define a race. It doesn't define a people. And so, because there's been such an we have how many dictionaries? How many types of dictionaries? How many different dictionary companies? How many times has language been changed? Do we even know the words that we speak? Yet we're underneath a trance or a spell that has been casted upon the masses, because they even if they were to do the research, those first few levels of it, when you read something that goes against what you've been told your entire life by your parents, your relatives, the school systems, the government, you're gonna go, no, that can't possibly. I couldn't have been lied to about everything. And as soon, that's the thing. That's the barrier for most people. There's a firewall in people's minds that says, no, I have to have. I've built up this identity for 20, 30, 40 years. That's what I am. This is my history. This is what they've told me. And this is what I understand. This is how I act. And this is how this is my personality that I've apparently birthed or grown because of all of the bullshit. But see, most people can't accept that it was bullshit, because if they believed that everything that their life is based upon is a complete utter lie, what are they going to do? That's the initial outpouring is anger. And so that's what we see with most people. As soon as they get closer and closer to realizing, well, you're actually angry at the wrong things and the wrong types of people, the wrong kind of people. There are, I hate using the us then them dialogue, because there is such a small number of what them might be or they might be. Some people might say uh, they might be robots. Could be. You don't know that in 1600 it wasn't the year 3000 and we have robots walking amongst us like Westworld style. You don't know that. You can't be sure. You don't know that there are not shape-shifting reptilians controlling things. There could be. I'm not suggesting that either of those are true, but they could be. But what we do know is that most people are their anger comes out much as we do individually in relationships that we have with individual people. That past relationships, those ideas, those memories of past relationships, you'll take out anger, aggression, and things towards people that don't deserve it. And I think that's where we are as a totality, as a species. Because how many relationships have you probably ruined? You personally, me too. I'm fucking certainly done these things where like I'm arguing with somebody and then afterwards I'm like, yeah, that really wasn't for them. That wasn't the argument. You know, if you're getting an argument with me and somebody you like, and you're in a relationship for a while, and then the argument is over, leaving a fucking package of cookies in the refrigerator and the door open. That's not the issue. I mean, yeah, that's kind of like way down the line, but the issue was something way before that. Maybe not even to do with that person, And so what we've seen as a mass of people, a species. If we consider ourselves one species, one human family collective, even if we're different species, it doesn't really matter. But what we see is the anger is displaced and put in different direction. I mean, who should people really, if you have if you have anger, shouldn't you be angry at the people that are kind of putting those books in front of you in school systems and where they come from? Shouldn't you be mad at the companies that are selling you products that are poisoned? Shouldn't you be more upset with the people on the TV that just read a script, that just are reading off of a nonsense script that's based almost totally, completely in falsities, lies, and ignorance, and then all they're doing is pushing a divide based upon stereotypical, radicalized notions of the way they want to see the world, because if they cause enough divide, they can control things much easier. I mean, hey, we can have peace and love and harmony, and sure, that's great. That'd be good to get there, I guess. Um, but the reason there is so much divide is because people take they take words of low level magicians and psychological um, uh, attacks upon all of us, and they take them as facts, and then they use them as if they know something. What's up, Divine Hazel? Do you like the glasses? So recently, I've breakfast for me has been a spot of coffee. You usually say a spot of tea, a spot of coffee, and a cigar. That's been breakfast for me. I don't know. Because I've been getting more towards eating less, even though I was on a rampage of eating. You know, sometimes you eat, sometimes you don't eat, and now I'm getting back to the more airy, etheric realms of keeping it lighter and simpler. So, yeah, when I eat a lot, I feel dense and heavy, and not my brain doesn't work as right. So, it doesn't work as right. It doesn't work so right. It doesn't work as proper as it should. Mr. Mannion, what's going on? We just chit chatting about some things here about misplaced anger, and if I may, just to give you the other if I may give you the other angle, there's misplaced love in places. You ever think you fall in love with somebody because of ideas that you have of what you should love, and then you find out later that like, that was completely wrong. That's not the kind of person I really actually intrinsically internally really adore. It's something completely different. All of the notions that you had of what you should hate and what you should love are completely skewed because of who we listen to and what we've it's that whole, if somebody says, if you keep saying it's a lie a million times, eventually people will believe it. It doesn't make it true, but they will believe it. Um, and Divine Hazel, yeah, I was talking about these glasses. I think these glasses are very very. If I lived in the 1980s, they're what these glasses are what the people in the 80s would have thought that 2020 would look like. So I thought I'd rock them. I don't know. I normally see. I think these would normally look goofy on me, but I really enjoying them. I usually like a different shape of glasses on my face, but these are kind of rocking. I'm digging them, and so there they are. Have some. Yes, yes, yes. Well, where are we going here? We're talking about this Chiefs and the Redskins, and then we're talking about misplaced anger. I think we've covered that. Why not get rid of the Chiefs logo too? I mean, isn't that pretty much implying Redskin? Because aren't they trying to dismiss and get rid of the history? I mean, this is what's been going on for a long time, to get rid of the history of the actual native to the land. This is why they started to, if you look through the census through the years, the name of the people that were melanated changed. And now all of a sudden, they put a continent in front of the American, two terms that don't imply, they're not connected in any way. And then people have now they've been deceived to the fact that they're, you know, from somewhere they're not. And so the actual history of the Americas is completely skewed, completely. The kind of people who are here, the colors of the people, very very much so. Jay Marley, what's going on? Goofy, you like the goofy glasses? Yeah, I figured this would keep people away from my channel at the beginning. They would see me and they go, oh, he's got nothing good to say, but it's just to disguise, because if I put my hair down and put a nice shirt on and had a nice background, it might appear as though that I know what I'm talking about, and I don't want it to ever look that way. Because I've lived my life by this one simple rule, that people that are sure of things, I love to confuse them, and people that are confused, I want to make them very comfortable and sure of themselves. I think it's a very good life path to have. They are quite awesome. I know this. So which direction should we go here? I think we've covered. Let me go back to this Redskins Chiefs thing. If I took out a map of all of the states that have football teams and baseball teams, and I started to look at the names of the teams, what about the Braves? Is it okay that we call them Brave? But it's implying Native American. So shouldn't we get rid of the Chiefs and the Braves? Because we just got rid of Aunt Jemima. It was somehow racist. Now the new syrup that's out is literally, instead of a bottle shaped like a black woman named Aunt Jemima, which is, I don't see anything wrong. I've never heard of anyone like, oh my God, I have racism in my house because of my syrup. The new bottle is now, it's a different company. It's a picture of a black woman named Michelle. It's called Miss Michelle's syrup. And now there's a picture of a black woman, Miss Michelle. So that's okay. Miss Michelle selling syrup is okay with a picture of her. But Aunt Jemima, with the bottle shaped like Aunt Jemima, that's not okay. What's going on here? I'm very confused. What if I you know, can I start a syrup company and call myself uh I'm gonna say something terrible. It's gonna be terrible, and you're all gonna hate it. It's gonna be something whitey, and just it'll be me standing there, and I'll have a whip. Is that gonna get real bad? Oh no! See, now that would be ruthless, right? That'd be goofy, but and I could see why that might upset a few people. But I don't get the Redskins thing. It doesn't. And in fact, there was some studies done. They would go and ask, like, they're like, hey, Native American people that are actually, they know they're like, no, that's awesome. I'm glad that we're on a fucking helmet of a giant organization, and they're out here playing football. They're part of the National Football League, and that's giving proper memory to where we are. Not even memory, but like, hey, we still here, and they're just erasing that. Erasing history, erasing that. So that's not going to be there. So I think we should get rid of the Braves too. I think we should get rid of the Chiefs. I also think we should get rid of the Giants, because remember, the Giants actually existed, but they're not here now. Maybe the Giants are upset that they have a football team named after them. There were Giants in this land, and there still are. Should we get rid of the Giants? Aren't they offended? How about people that fly airplanes or jets? Maybe we should get rid of the jets too, because you know what? One of my friends was in a jet and it crashed. Or he was in the army and he flew jets, and somebody blew his jet out of the sky. Isn't that a little offensive? I don't know. I mean, where do we draw these lines in the sand of what's offensive and to who? And the funny thing is, the only people that are offended are actually motherfucking white people. White people are offended by the term Redskins. The actual people that are native, that are red-skinned, are not only not offended, but they're happy with it. And then white people go, oh, I'm so offended. This is unbearable. We cannot have this. What's the problem here? How about Raiders? How about Buccaneers? Isn't anybody upset about Pirates? Yeah, I mean, football and baseball. Baseball is a game, and it sucks ass. Everybody knows this. Football, whatever. There's a game. There's a game to be played. I don't mind games. If we went back to the old, the Aztec Mayan, the ball game, it's kind of like a cross between football, soccer, and rugby, and there's a game there. Maybe play that one. But any game, I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, yeah, where they've taken sports to, putting it on a pedestal is kind of strange, but oh well, whatever. I don't think we're gonna change the kind of people that love their interference with consciousness with going to church every Sunday. We're not gonna get rid of church, so they can just, and then they're gonna go to the football game. That's two stadiums of, you got churches that fill up stadiums, both equally as retarded to me. So how many other dumb team names? We got to get rid of the Buccaneers and the Pirates, because the Pirates, didn't they steal a bunch of shit? So the Raiders were pirates. Get rid of them. I don't like that. Okay. How many teams are we gonna have left? Are we gonna have to change all their names? Can we call them the Oakland Fairies? Oh no, I just mean fairies. Like, no, I don't mean like fairy. I mean fairy like flying around little. Or are they gonna offend? Because there are fairies. There literally are. So are we gonna? Is that gonna be offensive? So how about the Browns? Now, what is that? Is that like Dookie Brown, or is that like Brown? What is a Browns? That's just a weird name. So should we call them if we call them the blacks or the whites, that's gonna be woo. Become the Browns though? That's okay. Should we call all team names by colors? So we just now we'd have to, instead of knowing that there's only 7 colors, we got to start, with the aquamarines and the, go into your little paint swatch there and realize it's not just Roy G. Biv, but maybe a few other colors that you're not familiar with the names. The indigos. I don't know. How about the Yankees? Isn't that upsetting anybody? The Yankees? I thought the Yankees were in a war against the South. Isn't that the whole thing? Maybe we should get rid of the Yankees. I don't like that. I don't know what Mets are. Is that Metropolitan? I think that's okay, maybe. But maybe some people are upset with Metropolitan people. You would never call somebody what would be the opposite of Metropolitan? What kind of people live in the sticks? You know, is that going to be offensive to anybody? What other teams? Let's go through the teams. I think I could probably do it off the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, right? Hmm. Well, Panthers can't speak for themselves, but I'm going to speak for them. I'm offended that you've taken an image of my tribe of Panthers and put it on your helmet. Get rid of those. We cannot have this. We will not stand for it. If you're going to get rid of the Redskins, you got to get rid of the Panthers. I'm speaking for the Panthers because they don't speak the same language as you. I'm speaking Panther language right now. What else? What else we got? The Dallas, look at the Texans. I don't know. What they used to be the Oilers, right? Well, it was the Dallas, and then it was Houston Oilers, the Houston Oilers, and then it went to the Texans, the Houston Texans, the Dallas Cowboys, and then you got the Indians. Okay, you got the Cleveland Indians. Redskins got to get rid of. No one says a word about the Indians, but the Indians is implied that it's Redskins. Redskins imply Indians. So now we got to get rid of the Braves, the Indians, the Redskins. You guys are following this, right? This is all this. This is not me just. I'm equally offended by all of it. It's all offended me completely. I am fucking offended. How dare these people? How dare they make money off an image of cowboys and Indians? I think you got to get rid of them, both of them. Because if I'm an Indian, I'm offended by your cowboys. If I'm a cowboy, I'm offended by your Indians. I used to play cowboys and Indians when no, I didn't. I never did that. Yeah, we had squirt guns, green squirt guns. They were not like the black ones that looked like maybe there was a real bullet in there. Never that. We just used BB guns and shot each other. We were hick. What other teams do we need to get rid of? What other ideas? What words do we have to add to George Carlin's list of the 7 words? I mean, we're well past 7 words. Carlin would be having a fucking heyday. Like, George Carlin was and still is probably the greatest philosopher comedian ever. But today, in this climate, George Carlin would be just ripping people apart. And he'd be the only one doing it because everybody else is just tiptoeing around, scared as fuck to say anything that might be even slightly. You better watch the words you use, because people just will apply their preconceived notions to any words you use to say they're offended by it. As Ricky Gervais said, just because you're offended doesn't make you right. And as I will further that statement, this is a very, very big one in the feminist movement. At least years ago it was, and it's this feeling of where you've offended. It's this idea of offending someone's rights. Where my rights are offended is like where your rights stop. So if I'm offended, then you need to. So somebody could faint offended all day, and so everyone's gonna have to shut the fuck up because everyone's offended. Is anyone not offended by something these days? It's damn near impossible not to offend someone during a course of any conversation. You got most people are just like, I don't know what I can say. Like, one sentence, I might even choose the wrong word that I mean nothing to attack or offend anyone by, and say, I can't believe you say such a thing. Luckily, I'm a little bit less impressed with that shit because I've done that my entire life, so it doesn't really. It's not really conscious to me. Like, I'm like, someone's gonna be offended. There's nothing I can do about that. But I think most people they're starting to become like so hyper aware to, hypersensitive to the possibility of being offended, that they're using the possibility of offended and applying that to everything. That they're like, if I can be offended, then I can. And it's a deeper psychological thing where when someone takes offense to something, they're taking someone's energy. Like the fact that white people and the news and all this shit are offended by the Redskins bullshit, they're taking the energy and saying, well, look at us, narcissistic people going, let's put this all on us. Oh, we're standing up for that. And these people are like, I don't need you to stand up for me. In fact, I'm not even offended or upset. I'm actually happy with that. And now they're trying to steal energy. It is. It's an energy thieving thing. Hey, and 10 people in here, 4 thumbs up, as usual. I got for the 6 people that, here's one for you, there's one for the other one, and here's another thumbs down for you, and a thumbs down for you. That's 4 people, and there's 2 more, and there's those 2. So there's for the 6 people that didn't give me a thumbs up. You can sit here and listen. How dare you? How dare you? I am offended. I'm offended by people that do not give me a thumbs up when they come and listen. I am offended fully. There's got to be something I can do. There's got to be a way that I can. Oh, you! I will shake my fist at you. Oh man. Well, hopefully everybody's having a deliciously wonderful morning. Oh yeah, Patriots there. Yeah, fuck the Patriots too. We got to get rid of the Patriots. Yeah, got to get rid of them. Is that why Tom Brady left? But where did he go? He went to the Buccaneers. He went from the Patriots to the Buccaneers. There's programming here. If you all don't have this, you guys know, but for the people that will somehow make their way to 20-some minutes into my video because they're paying attention and they're going, oh, I see. You'll start to notice that you think that Tom Brady went from the Patriots to the Buccaneers. There's symbol-rich things going on here. Symbolically, that was for a reason. That was not just happenstance. That was not perchance. There's nothing as perchance in the NFL really, or any of these leagues that most people are still caught up thinking that it's just. Remember when we used to go play games in the backyard? That was a fun game because there was no money involved, no nothing. Everybody just go out there and playing. Now when money's involved and gambling's involved, that's a business. Everything they do is they're designing a business. They're not. While some mistakes might be made and some might be goofy and ridiculous, when they're using symbols, they're destroying the Redskins symbol and they move Tom Brady from the Patriots to the Buccaneers. You think that's just? Oh no, that's just their names. They're just playing football. No, they're making billions and billions of dollars. You think they're not going to be thinking about the symbols and how it speaks archetypically to people's subconscious? Yeah, that's how it works. I don't give a flying fuck. Flying while fucking is pretty cool. I don't mean on an airplane. I mean like in an astral, in the astral realm. It's pretty cool. It's hard to stay in that realm when you're doing that because it's so intense. Flying, fucking. You don't give. You interact with a flying fuck. It's a multiple parties involved there. At least 2 people involved in flying while fucking. Well, I'll try to keep this a little shorter. I got a couple things to do today. I might come on here later, say hello. At this point, if you all don't have a direction for me to go in, I think I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish for this early AM broadcast of my strange opinions and sometimes throwing on some facts in there. I don't know. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Stay really groovy, and I will talk to you all on the other side of this camera, which will be probably this camera again later, just, at a new time, in a new location, in a new energy. You know how that works? Okay, guys. Be cool. Be easy. And always don't give a fuck what other people think, because their thoughts are based in dog shit.